should smile. Sometimes you smile because you're nervous or because you can't think of anything else to do. She's smiling because she's happy, and looks very normal and natural. I suspect the senior members of the royal family must be thinking, hey, we've done it here. This is a result.
We've done well.
We got a good one here.
And we've just seen them turn into the mall, so we will hear that ripple of noise, I don't doubt, in a few moments' time. I must say too, an extraordinary image of the new Duke of Cambridge, Prince William, on an occasion so many years ahead of this, when he kept things so private. His circle of friends kept things so quiet and so discreet, and this is the moment where they really step out onto the grand stage. There is...
But I think they do it with a quiet dignity. That's what strikes me about the new couple, that they're doing it in a dignified way. They know... I think they know what's expected of them, and I think that comes across very powerfully. But I guess it must be a day also tinged with a bit of sadness for him as well, given that his late mother isn't here. But I think actually they come across to me, watching them now, as self-assured and with a quiet dignity, I must say.
William's been lucky with his friends, going back to school days and university, or you could say he's chosen well, that he's had a tightly knit group of friends who, from university days, have never really spoken out of turn, have never really talked to the press and blown the gaff at
He
all.
says he's very good at spotting someone who's approaching him, wanting to be his friend for all the wrong reasons. He must be very astute by now.
Yes. But he should be very happy with his friends. They've stood by him and behaved properly, which has not always been the case of those the royal family has made as friends.
Yes.
And I think in many ways both the princes have been allowed to grow up somewhat away from the public eye. I think it actually has been, the relationship changed, I think, when they were young princes, and I think they have been able, to the extent it's possible, within the confines of who they are, to actually grow up away from the kind of media intrusion that we have seen in previous generations. And I'm sure that is a very big factor.
And I suppose it is an element of their lives which they are still able to preserve. We see that extraordinary uniform of the Irish Guards today, but he's known by a lot of his friends as Flight Lieutenant Wales, of course, based up in Anglesey. And I suppose a point will come when they'll be quite glad to get back to the privacy of their cottage there and the quietness of the Welsh hills.
They've taken great care to really keep their lives to be as low-key and downplayed as possible. You know, you don't see these two bumbling out of nightclubs with Paris Hilton. You don't see them hanging out with celebrities and courting the press and courting attention. I think they want to be as down-to-earth as normal. Apparently they love trashy TV and a nice TV supper, like the rest of us.
Nothing wrong with that.
Very soothing.
Does that mean they're watching my programs?
No, it means they're watching mine. What does
It's no competition.
what does this do? These pictures, these beautiful high-definition pictures on a spring day in London. What does this do for GB Inc.?
Well, it's the global brand, isn't it? I mean, other countries have different brands. We have other global brands too, but this is a unique global brand. You can hear them as they're coming down the mile, approaching where we are at the moment, and it sends a signal. Now, some people may say this sends an ancient, an antediluvian signal around the world, but it's the only signal this country has that no other country has. It is unique to the world, and in a sense the rest of the world seems to have taken the British monarchy to its bosom, and they now think of it, its monarchy. They don't talk about the Queen of England or Britain, they simply talk about the Queen.
Well, it's passing behind us as we speak. There'll be many weddings up and down the land this weekend, but nothing quite like this one. That's a beautiful sight. Beautifully groomed and well-behaved horses, shiny breastplates on the household cavalry, Union flags waved vigorously and enthusiastically, and the big party flag above Buckingham Palace. The Queen has, I pass every day going to work, the Queen has two standards. a normal one when she's in residence, and this big one when there's a huge event. And the wind is perfect, absolutely perfect, even for the flag.
And the entire route lined the new Duke and Duchess as they approach the gates of Buckingham Palace. And a little glance behind. The crowds who've waited so patiently, some of them through the cold of the night. You see the divisions of the Household Cavalry, the Blues and Royals. We just caught a glimpse of him, didn't we? There's Prince Harry, of course, and the tiniest of the bridesmaids in there. What fun it must have been in that carriage.
We were talking to Clemmy Hambro and India Hicks earlier on when they were saying when they were in the carriage